Frugality can mean different things to different people. For some, it may mean cutting down on going out for coffee or drinks. For others, it may mean cutting down on utilities and washing out Ziploc bags. Extreme frugality is going to the extra mile, taking the extra step to save as much money as possible. People are frugal for many different reasons. Maybe you're paying off debt, or just scraping by enough to live. Or maybe you're saving for a big goal, or paying down your mortgage early. Either way, many people are finding themselves drawn into a frugal lifestyle. With extreme frugality, we are cutting every extra expense and bringing every necessary expense down to the bare minimum. Foraging is a great way to cut back on groceries, as it is literally free food. Finding this food in areas that are not sprayed with pesticides is very important. Today, I'm collecting dandelions, both leaves and flowers. Every part of the dandelion is edible. The leaves are very good for you and have a lot of healing properties. They can be eaten in fresh salad or cooked in any dish where you would cook spinach. I like to fry mine up in butter and serve as a side. The flowers are also edible. I find the best way to eat these is to put them in a jello or a gummy, but you can also make a dandelion jam with them. The roots are also edible and very medicinal. You can pull them out, dry them, and make them into a tea. There are so many foods that can be foraged for free. Knowing what you're looking for is important. Your library probably has books on local edibles that can help you. Many different berries grow wild and can be foraged. Same with greens like sorrel and nettle. I was just speaking with a gentleman who would forage acorns on his property and make flour from them, or eat the cattails which were growing in a local stream, which I hear tastes like corn. Getting creative and thinking outside the box means that you can find free food in many different areas. Dumpster diving is another great option for free food. It may seem disgusting when you first think about it, but the amount of perfectly good food that is thrown away is absurd. I had never heard of this until I had spoken with the wife of my husband's coworker, who would regularly go through dumpsters and find great food. She would constantly supplement her groceries with this food, which means that her grocery bill was pretty much nothing. I feel like the spotlight has finally been put on this issue a lot more lately, with YouTube and TikTokers showing all the things that can be found in dumpsters behind stores, and the fact that these things are in perfectly good shape and perfectly edible. The waste is insane. I think it was Rob Green that initially started this movement. Groceries are one of our highest expenses, so finding a way to bring this down as much as possible is very important. If you do not feel comfortable foraging or dumpster diving, I have an entire playlist on budget meals and saving as much on groceries as possible. I'll put the link in the description, so make sure you go check those videos out because I have tons of ideas there for you. If you are interested in making this dandelion jello, you're going to take as many dandelion flowers that you can find, give them a good rinse, and then you're going to pull all the petals off the bud. I put mine in a nice bowl, and then I'm going to boil 2 cups of water. After that water is boiled, I put the water all over the petals and cover it, and then I leave it for a good 10 to 15 minutes so the petals can release all of their juice and flavor into the water. I always take all my extra water from rinsing any vegetables so that I can water my plants with that. That way I'm not wasting that water. Once these petals have been sitting for a while, I'm just going to pour them through a strainer so I get all the water but none of the petals in my pot. When that's done, I'm just going to take it over to a burner. I'm going to put in 2 cups of sugar, or a little less if you don't want it that sweet. Now I ran out of sugar, so I used about 1.5 cups. After that, I put in 4 tablespoons of gelatin, and I just let it sit there so that the gelatin can bloom, and then I get it all warmed up. I'm going to give it a good stir and then let it come to a boil. This Jello is a really healthy and almost free treat. I'm just paying for the sugar and the gelatin. I get my gelatin in bulk, so it costs a little bit less. It's also not a name brand like organics or anything like that. So I get a good deal on my gelatin. So it's really just the cost of the gelatin and the sugar that goes into this Jello. And it's a really healthy and fun treat. Once it's boiled for a minute, I get it in a pie dish typically, or a heat-proof dish, and then I just put it in my refrigerator for about 6 hours, and then it's perfectly gelatinized. Bringing down utilities as much as possible can also save hundreds a year. This can look like short showers to save on money, or reusing wastewater. Sewage can be up to half of your water bill, so finding ways to use that water instead of sending it down the drain can save a decent amount of money. We keep the plug in our bath and collect all the shower and bath water. This can be used to flush the toilet. If biodegradable soap is used, it can be used to water your plants. I have also heard of people putting pipes out from their sink out to their gardens so that all of their used dishwasher water can go out to the gardens and water their gardens instead of them using the hose. This saves on the sewage water as well as saving on bringing more water into the house. If you have eave straws, you can use rain barrels instead of using water from the house. This can be used to water plants and to wash with. It can also be filtered for drinking water. You may also consider switching to family cloth, as toilet paper can be incredibly expensive, especially if you have a big family. In the past, I've used old baby washcloths, but I've recently spoken with a woman who would sew flannel from thrift stores into family cloth. This method can also be used to replace paper towel. Family cloth is basically the same idea as cloth diapering, just on a bigger extent, and you're just going to wash them and replace them, and that way you're not literally flushing your money down the toilet. If you have the ability to go without a car and public transport is a good option for you, then going without a car is a great way to save a lot of money. Cars are not only expensive to buy, but they're also expensive to insure and maintain and repair. So if it's possible for you to go without a vehicle, then that's a great way to save a lot of money. Make everything by hand. I've said in the past how homemade is always cheaper and tastes better. This can be snacks like cookies and muffins, homemade bread, and definitely homemade meals. But cooking homemade always saves you more money. Again, if you're looking for ideas on what to make homemade, check out my budget meals playlist. I have a ton of ideas there. I also have a lot of videos of what I make in the week to save money. Those are also in that playlist, so go ahead and check them out. Make your home a place you enjoy being in. I don't mean to spend money making it a luxury home, but enjoy being in your space. You'll be less likely to want to go out and spend money that way. And what I find is typically whenever we leave the house, it's for something that costs money. Now you can do things to mitigate that by bringing food and lunches and going to free events But the best way to save money is just to stay home. So make your place cozy, make it welcoming, and enjoy being there. After all, your home is what you spend the most money on every month, so being home to enjoy it is a great thing. There are so many different reasons to be frugal these days, but if you are truly struggling, please make sure you check out your local resources, your community churches, and your local food banks. They are there to help you. And if you are looking for more ideas on how to save money around the home and be exceptionally frugal, I have an entire playlist on frugal tips that I am going to link here. Make sure you check that out because I have a lot of ideas there for you. I will also make sure that I link this cookie recipe in the description box if you are interested in following it. It does make some very delicious cookies. Thank you all for joining me today, and I'll see you all next time.